Welcome everyone, Beyond the 90. First game since the restart, 1-1. Let's get started straight into it straight away. Neil, views of the game?
It was nothing for most of the game. It was quite an even game. And then at the end, we had two absolutely world-class goals. So, yeah, there's a load to talk about. I think overall, it was a fair result. Both teams kind of looked like it was a training match for the whole match. But overall, yeah, 1-1. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think overall, probably a kind of fair result, if I'm honest. Chilwell's goal, outstanding for a defender. And then you see the other defender go up the other end and bicycle kick it. So for me, it was an okay game. I think it was a cagey start. I think nobody wants to concede behind closed doors. First half, I think we played really well. Second half, they came into it quite strongly, and then we took over again. For me, I think Gray changed the game for us.
Yes.
I've not said that very often, if I'm honest. And what are your views on it?
It's just the most Leicester thing to not play a game in 3 months and concede in the 95th minute to a bicycle kick from a defender, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Watford I think again. It was a fair result. It was a fair result.
Yeah, I think you're right. Doug, you're here with us, a Liverpool fan. What were your views from an outsider point of view? Doug?
Yeah, I have to say, from watching that game, I mean, not much happened in that game, but Darren Fletcher said that there's every time Watford and Leicester seem to play each other, there's always something in the last minute between these two. It's either a red card or late goals, and then obviously you got 2 late goals there. I mean, Chilwell's goal was an absolute beauty, and apart from that, obviously that goal, I didn't think he was that great. And then just to concede the lack of the game as well, it must be. Does that feel like a defeat for you guys?
I personally think when we went 1-1 up, I thought just close down the back, make sure we've got enough men behind the ball and tracking back to see this out. We've generally been pretty good at seeing games out. It's just we scored and kind of spurred them on. And then as the balls were coming into the box, I was just thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be so Leicester and concede. And it happened.
Yeah, I agree. The same thing where as soon as that goal went in, I was like, right, bring on Morgan, stick him in the middle, 3 at the back, sit back and just like absorb the pressure. We're really good at that. We had Hamza Chowdhury and Ndidi on, so they're good at absorbing the pressure. That would have been perfect, but it wasn't to be. But overall, I'm not disappointed because that goal was that would have been crazy from something like the Matrix. That was so awesome. So yeah, overall, it's a result that we could handle anyway. That I think that overall for the first game we didn't lose. It's put us in good stead to go on. I think James made a good point where the first half we were quite good. Certain players went missing, like Barnes and Tillemans for the majority of the match. But Rodgers did a good thing in taking them off and bringing in new subs that actually changed the game, which is really good. But overall, yeah, I'm not too disappointed, to be honest.
No, I think you're right. I think overall we played okay. It seems a bit strange playing behind closed doors. I've seen a few of the games now, and I think a lot of the teams are not throwing their full effort into the game, if I'm perfectly honest. Man United last night seemed to come into it in the second half, so I'm not sure teams are playing to their fullest. Again, 1-1. Man United drew last night 1-1. Hopefully Chelsea won't win to keep us where we are. Anything you want to say, Ant?
No, I think that as much as it would have been good to get the win today and sort of extend that gap to those behind, we very easily could have lost today with the amount of chances. There's a great save from, I think it was Sarr who went through on one-on-one and Schmeichel with a great save. So I think we've got to look at it as a positives and just something to build on for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. I think Sarr's chance was a great chance. I thought he'd probably finish that because Sarr seemed to be playing really, really well and seemed to be ghosting past Chilwell at times. and Sars does seem to drift in and out of games. I thought Deeney had a really good game. He seems to be winning a lot of the headers, which I was quite surprised at. But overall, a fair result. I think everyone played okay. I don't think anyone had a terrible game. First half, Barnes was non-existent. Second half, he seemed to come into a bit more. But then Gray came on, and Gray was just seemed to be a different player from what we've seen in the past.
I think he might almost be proving a point that he wants to stay at Leicester, because it's been rumoured, but it's been said that he's got no place. So he might be trying to prove that he's got a place here.
Yeah, and you're probably right. I think overall, he did play okay. Yeah, he lost the ball a few times, but that goal's got to add 20 million onto his price tag.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of James Justin in this game?
I was really impressed by him. I thought he came in for Ricardo Pereira, probably our most creative player, and put his body sort of in the way of everything, put everything into it. So I don't think you could have asked much more from him.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's been really good. I think, however, he's only going to get better through the time that he's going to be with us, because you can see there's a lot of potential playing on his right-hand side, which is his strongest. We did seem to miss Ricardo. I don't know if that's because we're not in true match fitness yet, but Ricardo takes up so many different positions, just like Ndidi does around the pitch, where he can go out to the wing, take a player on, cut inside. And it did seem like we were lacking that a little bit. But again, I think that might be just down to the fact that we're not quite in the full flow of things. I don't think any team is really. It's going to take a while for them to build in to have a full season under their belts. But overall, yeah, I think JJ had a great game. Hopefully, he can build on this, and with a good run in the team, because it looks like he's going to be playing most matches until the end of the season. Hopefully, he can develop into the player that we know he potentially could be.
I think the one thing that he did struggle with is every time the ball did get down the right-hand side with Albright, and instead of sort of the link-up play you normally see between Perez and Pereira, it was just whipped into the box very quickly. So I don't think Justin had a huge sort of opportunity to do much going forward.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think also it's difficult, isn't it, when he's just coming into the team. He's coming into the team, and Ricardo, as we know, bombs forward and comes back. So I think he covers Ricardo's defensive qualities quite well. He just doesn't have that part that Ricardo has of the bombing forward.
Yeah, and out of the two qualities, that's the quality. I want the defensive quality over the attacking quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think Albright had a great game, smashed it against the post. I thought that was going in as well. Maddison then comes in. Thought he was going to score, but again, their goalkeeper's been outstanding today. I think him and Schmeichel both outstanding.
Yeah, I thought Dawson had a really good game for Watford, but he was very, very fortunate not to give away a penalty. I thought, because I think Siyunchu's header actually hits the arm Dawson. So I think he was very, very lucky. If it did struck his arm, then it would have been a penalty. But he was very, very fortunate because his arm was outstretched.
He was offside though, wasn't he?
His shoulder was, as the ball was taken. I think so. I don't know if that would count as offside, but yeah, probably by the law of the games, it was offside. But it wouldn't have been flagged. Do you think it would have gone to VAR if that had gone in?
We probably would have had a 25-minute committee meeting to stay with the original decision.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think VAR would probably have. I don't know. I think there'll be a very long. Sorry, I was going to say there'll be a very long conversation, and then they say it's fine. But I've not seen VAR used since we've restarted in the games we've played so far, so I presume that's a good thing.
I
spin it all.
I guess it's been nice. I've not had to think about it, because every time VAR has been brought in, for the majority of the time, it's been to a negative impact. So for this time, I think we hadn't had any opportunities that needed stepping in, but at the same time, it's good that it's not there. So sometimes it can be a problem where it's always intercepting, it's slowing down the game. And again, it was a bit of a slow game, but I think it wasn't needed. So it's quite nice it had a backseat today.
Yeah, I think you're right. So, Doug, what did you think to the first half?
First half was quite even. I thought between the Watford and Doucouré should do better with his chance. I think it comes to him a little bit quicker, and I think looking at it, it was a very, very even half. Both sides had their chances. I mean, Albrighton hitting the post in the second half. I thought that was in. I actually thought that was in. I think we all did, to be honest. But I have to say, from watching that as a neutral, it was a really good watch. Not because I was thinking that the obviously before the two goals happened, I thought 0-0 for 0-0. It was actually a very, very entertaining game. I thought so. For the first half alone, it was very even game. I think a draw is a fair result.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think a draw's result, fair result. Looking at the stats, we had 15 shots, but only 2 on target. I think that's been the story of our season at times. We don't get enough on target. They had 8 shots and 4 on target. But yeah, possession, we had 67%. And I think that showed at times, especially during the second half. Towards the end, we seemed to just be coming into the forefront. And I think Gray, we just seemed to turn into a different team when Gray came on. It gave us a different outlet, and I think it helped us a lot. And what are your views on the first half?
The first half, I think we started sort of quite cagey, but that was to be expected. Both teams did. But I think we settled quicker than Watford. And for a large period of the first half, we looked in control. Then I think it was just after the water break and stuff, Watford started to press us quite a bit. And they had a chance where Ndidi, I think it was Ndidi, sort of was very casual in front of goal. And they probably should have scored from that. And then just before half-time, James Justin getting his body right in between the 2 Watford players, preventing a goal. So we could have easily gone in 1 or 2-0 down at half-time.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think for me, the first half, yeah, they had some great chances. Ndidi, poor pass. I thought they probably could have done better than that. Schmeichel got there. And there was quite a few chances where Schmeichel got his body in the way, the old Schmeichel, a bit like his dad used to star jump just to protect the ball. So I thought he played really, really well. One thing I wanted to touch on was the substitutes. Now, I know the new rule is we're allowed 5 substitutes, but you can only bring them on at 3 different occasions. So I think we're getting toward the 82nd minute, and we'd used 3 subs for 3 different occasions. So we can't bring anybody else on. Whereas Watford seemed to use 4 quite early on. I think it's been different and quite good to see how the different managers are using that system a bit differently. I don't know what you guys thought.
For me, I thought it was a bit strange because Chowdhury came on only minutes after Gray. It's I think we should have brought them both on at the same time, so we still had a slot later on in the games in case we did go 1-0 up like we did through Chilwell, and then we could have brought Wes on, or I don't know if we had Wes on the bench or whatever defender we had on the bench to help deal with the aerial bombardment that we knew was going to come from Watford.
Yeah, totally agree. I was thinking the same. Surely we could bring someone on just to shore that defence up a bit, because there were at times that we were looking a bit tired. And Watford, I think Watford knew that, and I think that's why they brought their 4 subs on, because I think they were fading fast as well.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I think that it was a good time, but I think we're still getting used to this perspective as well, where this is still something that the managers have never used before. Potentially, if you played friendly games, yes, but this is kind of like a half friendly game, half game, like half preseason game, half Premier League match. So there was that little bit of elements in there. I agree that we could have brought them on at the same time, but overall, I think they got them right. I was surprised that he didn't bring on more subs, just because of the fact that we've got a packed schedule. We're playing on Tuesday, then Sunday coming. So we're going to have to rotate the squad. We're going to have to use more squad members. So I know Rog likes to stick with the same team time and time again. So we're going to see certain players a bit run out in this instance. But I could see us using potentially 5 in the future. But overall, I think it was okay. I would have made potentially 4 subs just to give some players time to rest their legs.
Yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, we've got a game Tuesday, 6 o'clock. And I think you're right. I think you are going to have to use squad rotation. You're not going to be able to play the same 11. Most teams are playing 3 games a week, and it's just not sustainable playing the same players because they're going to burn out. So it'll be interesting to see who we play Tuesday night. First home match, obviously no one there. So let's see how that goes. Looking forward as well, obviously we've got the Merseyside derby tomorrow. I'll bring Doug in at this point. What do you think is going to happen in that, Doug?
I think it's going to be a very, very nervy, scrappy affair. Then derbies, form goes out the window for derbies. But I think if we can take our chances, and I think we can win the game. I think they've got a few players that are missing tomorrow. Obviously, Yerry Mina's missing. Theo Walcott's missing. I've also read in the sort of the week there that Richarlison, Tom Davis, Andre Gomez all sat out training, so there are doubts for the game. So Richarlison's had a wee bit to say about himself as well, saying that Virgil van Dijk is not in the top 10 centre backs of all time. So it's nice for him to rile up Liverpool. And what I'll just say to that is, he played against Liverpool in January at Anfield, and he couldn't get past Nat Phillips and Joe Gomez. So enough said. But looking into the game, we never play very well at Goodison. I think the last couple of games has been draws, but I am confident in the game. I know. Obviously, we will be rusty, etc. It'll be interesting to see what will happen. But for me, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win, and I'm actually going to go for an Origi winner. I think Origi will come off the bench and get the winner.
You know what they say, Doug? As soon as somebody comes out and talk crap about another player, he's very likely to score against them.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good game. I think you're 2 wins away from the title. And then you'll be joining the Premier League Elite, which obviously we're already there, so the club.
Yeah. Not yet. We've just drawn against Watford. Let's not get carried away.
No, they lost to Watford. We're above that.
You're going to bring that in.
Who do you guys think was man of the match for this game?
I was just about to start that conversation.
Okay, fair enough.
So for me, it's a difficult one because I think each half you've got people coming into it. So for us, first half was James Justin. Second half, I think Damari Gray. Overall, I'd go with Dawson. I thought he had a brilliant game. Goal topped it off. And at times he was keeping Vardy very, very quiet. And that's difficult to do, as we've seen in the Premier League. So for me, I think Dawson got man of the match overall. What do you think, Ant?
As you say, during the first half, Justin was brilliant and didn't have a bad second half either. But for me, I'm going to go with Damari Gray for the man of the match, just because he came off the bench and we looked like a completely different team. He got us on the front foot and stuff. I mean, it's not something we've said a lot about him, but he's really been positive and sort of tried to get at defenders and stuff. He looked a lot more confident today than we've seen from him for a long time.
Neil?
For me, I've gone James Justin. This was before the goal went in. I know people said Ant said Damari Gray, but I think overall for the first game, for a competitive match and against a Watford team that are very strong and rugged, I think James Justin did really, really well to come in for a position where Ricardo is one of the best right backs in the league. I know we've got a bit of a Leicester bias, but I think he's overall just a phenomenal player. And James Justin, without that much experience, has come in and really filled that position really, really well. So I'd give it to him.
Yeah, can't disagree with that. Doug?
I would say Craig Dawson. I thought he was absolutely outstanding, and obviously, he was very, very good defensively, and the goal really kicked things into gear for him. So I thought he was very, very good. I thought, as I say, Neil, I agree with Neil. James Justin was very, very good as well, and Damari Gray, when he came on, he looked really lively as well. Very, very close with one of the efforts as well, just over the bar, the curling effort just over the bar, but. I have to say, for me overall, Craig Dawson followed by James Justin.
Okay, well, can't disagree with any of them. So it's great having you guys on. Thanks everyone for joining us. Is everyone okay to come back Tuesday night after the game and do the same again?
You bet.
Hopefully, depends what time I get out of work, but if I can, I will.
Okay, thanks, Ant. So you can follow us on YouTube. Just search Beyond the 90 on YouTube and make sure you subscribe. All our videos are on there, all of our podcasts. We do a weekly podcast, which is out every Tuesday, and all our videos are on there as well. So thanks everyone for joining us. Thank you guys.
Thank you, James.
Thanks, and we'll see everyone later. Thanks.